And our last lesson in Chapter 9 is about operations with integers. It's kind of sort of going to be PEMDAS with integers. So remember, PEMDAS is parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. There'll also be a little bit more to this, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So evaluate. First, before I do anything else, I'm going to clean up this because I don't like the double sign. So I'm going to have negative 5 minus 8 minus 14. Now, this is all subtraction, right? So we just do it in order from left to right. So first, we're going to do negative 5 minus 8. Those two numbers, 5 and 8, are both negative, so same sign. Keep it and add the numbers. 5 and 8 make 13. Now we just have negative 13 minus 14. Those have the same sign. They're negative 13 and negative 14. So keep that negative, add the numbers. 13 and 14 make 27. Next, you might be saying, hey, that division negative, that's a double sign. It's not. I don't consider double signs when one of them is multiplication or division. But I do have to do what's in parentheses first. So negative 6 minus 2, same sign, so keep the sign, add the numbers. 6 and 2 make 8. Now I've just got division. 24 divided by 8 is 3. They're both negative, so the answer is positive when I divide. Two negatives divided give me a positive. The answer is 3. Next up, again, this minus negative I'm going to take care of straight away. It's going to be negative 3 plus 8 times negative 14. Now, multiplication comes first. So 8 times negative 14. Well, 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times 4 is 32. 80 and 32 is 112. And that's a positive number times a negative number, so it's negative. So we have negative 3 minus 112. Those are the same sign, so keep it and add the numbers. 3 plus 112 is 115. Next up, parentheses first. So inside this first set of parentheses, I have a negative 22 plus 6 that I can do. Those have different signs, negative 22, positive 6. So I will subtract the numbers. 22 take away 6 is 16, and keep the sign from the bigger number, which is the negative. So we did parentheses. The second set of parentheses that has a negative 4 in it isn't a set of parentheses in terms of do me first, because there's nothing to do inside of them. It's just a negative 4. Now we have to deal with the exponent. So negative 4 squared. And I just want to point out down here that negative 4 squared, remember, is negative 4 times negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. 16 divided by 16 is 1, but it's a negative divided by a positive. They have different signs, so the answer here is negative 1. And last, we're going to find a rule for the pattern, and then find the next two numbers in the pattern. So when we say find a rule, I'm saying, how does 1 become negative 2? Well, it could be multiplication by negative 2. That would do it. But negative 2 times negative 2 is not negative 5. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So that can't be the rule. So how else can 1 become negative 2? Well, by subtraction of 3. If I subtract 3 from negative 2, do I get negative 5? Yep. And if I subtract 3 from negative 5, do I get negative 8? Yes. So the rule is subtract 3. The next two numbers then would be negative 11 and negative 14. Find a rule, find the missing numbers. One thing I want you to notice here, okay, because the missing numbers are in different places, to find the rule, we have to focus in here. And I want to point out something. If the signs change every time. Then the rule must be times a negative number or divided by a negative number. Okay, that is the only way you can change the sign every time. And you see that happening here. We have negative 24, positive 48, negative 96, positive 192. We are changing signs. So we're multiplying or dividing by a negative number. These numbers, if I ignore the signs for a second, grow from left to right. 24 to 48 to 96 to 192. We're getting bigger. So that's multiplication. So we know the rule is multiplication because we're getting bigger, by a negative because we're changing sign every time. Now the question is, what are we multiplying by? Well, how does 24 multiply to become 48? It's times 2. So the rule is times negative 2. And if you want to make that easier to see, put the negative 2 in parentheses. So the rule is times negative 2. So what's missing? Well, negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. And that should be positive anyway, because it's between two negatives. And this missing number, which we're just going to work out down here, it's going to be negative because it's in between two positives, and it's going to be 192 times 2. I don't know that off the top of my head. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 9 is 18, carry a 1, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, and it's between two positives in our pattern, so it's negative. The last missing term is negative 384.